Good afternoon, gentlemen. Well, here we are again. It's live from Canterbury with Pedro Ty. Pedro's in Canterbury, and I'm here in downtown Melbourne. So,
afternoon from Can. Well, they call it Can up here. All the locals call it. They abbreviate the name, and it's called Can. So, how you going, fellas? Jono, good to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you too, Pete. Lovely to see you. We sort of made a bit of a plan about this, didn't we, before you left? And we said, when you get to Canterbury, we'll do a live show. Because we haven't done one for a while, but, as Ghetto Matt said, welcome Ghetto Matt. Welcome Sol. Sol Good's here. We're back. We're back again.
It's been a while. It's been a while by popular demand.
By popular demand.
We're back.
And give us a drum on Kanchanaburi, Pete. What's it like?
Well, I've been here just arrived yesterday, and went out last night. I went out kind of late afternoon yesterday. Pretty lively place. Going off down the strip here, and I don't know if any of you blokes have been to Cannes, but I'm staying right in the centre there, right on the river. Where all the bars and restaurants are, and I usually frequent a bar here. Jono's been there a few times. It's called the Aussie Bar, Aussie Rules Bar. Pretty, just an average name of an Aussie bar, but it's a good joint, and we know the bloke there, Bob. And I saw Bob last night, and we did a bit of a pub crawl, and pretty lively place. There's like I said, I was saying before to Jono just off air. That every time I come up here, there seems to be more bars open up here. There was a good night. Plenty of Sheilas getting around. It's a really good vibe up here. It's a really good feeling kind of place. There's no bullshit. Most of the blokes that come up here are usually the older kind of blokes. You don't really see fucking backpackers up here.
A lot of expats, aren't there, Pete?
Yeah, a lot of expats. Yeah, plenty of them. A lot of ex-military, because of the Kanchanaburi obviously has got the war memorials and all that kind of up here. So it's no Russians, G'day Matt. No Russians.
Yes, well, good point, G'day Matt. No, but I think I mentioned to Pete the last time I was there with him. I said, Canterbury reminds me of what, Pattaya was like, 40 years ago. Very, good place to go. Not too much pressure and, nice beaches. Not that there's beaches in Kanchanaburi, but it was pretty good, but totally different scene in Pattaya now. But I've mentioned to Pete before that, in the future, Kanchanaburi is going to be the place to kick off to. There's a lot of attractions in Kanchanaburi, which is sort of there's more attractions in Kanchanaburi than what there is, Pattaya really. Yeah, there's some riverside bars. There's some riverside bars there, but the main street sort of backs onto the river, doesn't it, Pete?
Yeah, it kind of runs parallel with the river,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great place. It's one of my go-to places. I think you've just summed it up, Jono. It's our go-to place in Thailand, or one of them anyway. So yeah, it's a good joint here for about 10 days. So there'll be a lot of fucking Leo drank within that 10 days. I'll give you the tip.
You having a beer, Pete, at the moment? You having a beer?
No, I'm not. I'm on the fucking water at the moment.
Too much last night, mate.
Yeah, I did have a few last night. It was the fucking Friday, the best day of the week, and also the first night's always the big one. Every time I come to Thailand or anywhere in Thailand, the first night seems to always be the big one. So we did a bit of a pub crawl last night. We had a good time. I was probably back in the room by midnight. It doesn't really kick on too late here, as you well know that, Jono.
Yes.
I think the bars shut at, I think they're shut by 1 or even earlier, some of them. So it's not a late night venue. It's kind of a more of a late afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
The Aussie bar is a really good bar to go to. Like today, the Pies are playing. Collingwood's playing Adelaide today, and the bar will be pretty busy today because the AFL's on. So if you're thinking about coming up here, any new blokes, pop into the Aussie bar there and say g'day to Bob. He's a fucking good bloke. So
indeed he is. And another thing about Canterbury is the heavy price regime really hasn't hit there yet, has it? Like you can go into a bar and how much was the beers last night? 70 baht?
Yeah, 70 baht at Bob's bar for 70 baht for a small Leo. Not really sure how much the big ones are, but I just go the small ones up here. But 70 baht, I mean, you can't blue that. You can't blue, can you, really, for that price?
What are they in 7-Eleven now? 38, 40 baht?
Yeah, about that, so 70 bahts, that's a fucking good price. You're not going to get too much cheaper than that.
Indeed.
And you don't get the big, they do the bin, it's old school, the bin, they put that in there. Everyone's got a bin and
the little cup.
Yeah, everyone's got their own little cup, with their bill in there, and you just ring the bell, ding, and the Sheila comes up and she gets you another beer, and and then and on you go. And then at the end of the night, it's no big surprise, the total bills. There's no big surprise there, because what's 10 sevens, like,
Well, 10 sevens, 700 baht, 35 baht.
Exactly.
35 bucks, and you're half blind.
That's it. And the other thing there, his missus does a good feed there as well. She works in the kitchen there, and she does a good chicken snitty or bangers or mash or a bit of Thai food or anything like that. She's a good scout. She rocked
Norma
up.
there?
Pardon?
Norma?
Yeah. Oh, how's that? Norma's she's been kicked out.
Really?
She's been kicked out of the bar. She works next door.
Oh, Bob would love that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I walked past and she's waved at me. And anyway, we're talking about a Sheila that works at Bob's bar. She's a working girl there, and she's worked there for a long time, and bit of a character. She's really she's not a bad scout. But Bob's kicked her out of the bar. Apparently, she doesn't get on with the other girls. She creates too much hassle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's a bit of a loner. She doesn't get on with the other girls, and I think that was the main reason that they fucked her off. But she never went far. She only went next door.
Not even across the road, just next door.
Just next door. She more or less sits right. I mean, you can see her from Bob's bar. She might as well still be there. You know what I mean? But she always looking in. Walks past. All that kind of stuff. Flaunting herself. As they do, the Thai girls.
Her boyfriend drinks at Bob's bar though, doesn't he? The bloke who runs the what is it? The bloke who runs the cemetery.
He was there last night, Mick.
Yes, big Mick.
Turned up last night. The old Mick turned up last night, had all his fucking medals on and fucking, the ex-army bloke. Ex-army, this guy, Mick, he's employed to look after the war cemeteries up here in Cairn. A bit of a character. His name's Mick. He's a bit of a character, yeah. So he was there last night. He popped in. They all pop in, don't they? They all pop in the Bob's bar and say good day. And
shall we do a bit of a welcome, Pete?
We better. Yeah, let's go through it, eh?
We've got Ghetto Matt. Thanks for joining us, Ghetto. So good there, as usual. He's always there. And old Rick Nelson. Haven't seen Rick around tonight. Yeah, but
Hello, Rick.
Rick's okay. Bruce Grant's there. Henry Black,
Yes.
all the old sorts. Mellor's
yeah,
63, and
Yeah,
Stu D, and our old mate Ray Gold. How are you, Ray?
Ray, how you going, buddy? Hope you're well. Hope everyone's well. Thanks for tuning in.
Indeed.
And we were just talking the other week, me and Jono. We thought, actually we were talking before I come over to Thailand. I said to Jono, we might do a live show, when I'm over here. So, that was about 6 weeks ago, but we've done it. We've got it going.
Indeed.
I didn't get up till about half an hour ago, but that's all right. It's probably the latest I've slept in, I reckon, since I've been here.
Big night then, Pete.
Well, I just, I'm not going to go on about it, but I haven't been sleeping that well over here. Don't know why, but I just fucking nice, comfortable bed, and after 100 Leos, I kind of thought, fuck it, I'm just going to fucking sleep in, I don't have to
go upstairs for breakfast this morning.
Nah, missed breakfast. I haven't fucking walked outside yet. That eggs and bacon would have been up there waiting for me. But I'm going to have to apologise. But I don't think I'm the only one that's done that before. Missed breakfast. So
you got to get yourself out of that little island. Out the back of the hotel, mate. You got to get out there. The hotel where we stay at, we don't need to mention the name, but there's a right down the rear of the hotel, underneath the swimming pool, is a 2-bedroom suite. Is where I stay with my wife and my family when I go to Canterbury, and it's virtually got its own little private island. You walk out the front door, and 6 feet away is from your front door is the River Kwai. And there's a little metal bridge, supposed to be about 30 metres long, the bridge. And you walk along the bridge, and you've got this little island, which the hotel has access to, and it's all very well groomed, and there's grass there, and some lovely shady trees, and
massive tree
lounges, and it's really nice. Crowy's joined us. Afternoon, mate. Tony the Tiger's with us.
G'day, Tony. How are you, mate? Big T. How you going, buddy? I went to that island yesterday after Jono told me about it, and you walk over this rickety fucking steel bridge over the Kwai, and then onto this fucking island. The fucking mighty big fucking mango tree there, Jono.
Yes.
That's fucking massive.
Yep.
But I got it straight away. I'd sat down on one of those chairs, and there's just no one around at all, and it's just the fucking serenity is just fucking mind blowing. It's just fucking perfect.
It's lovely. Yep,
so
indeed.
I'll definitely be taking a 6-pack over there at some stage, and just watch the world go by.
Well, it's nice to have a quiet one there because you can see, no one can come up from behind you, because you're 99 times out of 100, you're on this little island by yourself, and anyone that's coming, you can see them 100 metres away before they even get to you.
And it must be just that. It must be just this hotel that's got access to it. Is that right?
If you notice, only sort of half of it's developed. The other half of the island is it's all bush and what we call bush in Australia. And it's not manicured, whereas the island, they've got sprinklers going, and the grass is cut down properly, and there's trees and flowers there, and right smack in the middle of the River Kwai. Really, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I wonder.
Really beautiful indeed.
I wonder if the hotel. I wonder if they own that fucking island. I wonder if that's.
I'd say so, because where the bridge is, where you walk over to it, that seems to be like the the border of where the that's actually at the edge of the hotel, and so I think it's the western side of that bridge. I was saying, it's all bush area, but I think that's owned by the property next door. They might have access to that half.
Yeah,
But
right.
the half which is owned by the hotel where we stay is, it's you have a beautiful place to have a barbecue.
Oh,
Lovely place to have a barbecue there.
it's a ripper. Just to answer Rick's question about the weather, the weather's been fucking tickety boo over here, Rick. It's been really good. Not too much rain. I mean, they always say it's a rainy season around now in August, and haven't had a lot of rain at all. The weather's been really good. Had some hot days, but also had some really nice days where it hasn't been too hot, and especially in the evenings. The early evenings have been really nice. Yeah. So no, I haven't really been sweating my ass off over here, which has been good. Good time of the year, I think, to come over to Thailand around this time. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been to Thailand in August. Usually getting over here, these days around Christmas and New Year and stuff. But the weather's been really good. I've been really happy with the weather. It's been fucking really good.
Well, the rainy season will start soon, won't it? The end of August, start of September, the rains will start coming in.
Yeah, I think they've had some rain up north, up in Chiang Rai or something. They've had floods and shit up there, up country, like I think the south of Thailand is obviously the weather's a lot different from the north to the south. But I think they've had a bit of rain up there, but nothing really down. This is probably the most north I've been since I've got here, because we were in Cannon Beach to start off with, which is south of Surat Thani, and that was, the weather was perfect down there, So
if you haven't seen that video Pete's put out on Cannon, fellas, I'd recommend you watching it. Great little video. Looks like a great little spot to go. And I think I said to Pete yesterday, never seen him so happy while he's been on holidays. He was loving the place. But how good is it? Here you are on this massive white sand beach, and not a soul to be seen in any direction. Beautiful, eh?
Yeah, it's a gem. It's a fucking gem, all right, down there, Cannon Beach. Really good spot. Quiet. If you like quiet, definitely. It's got all that, and it's got that and more. It's got a few bars there. It's got some really good beach restaurants. It's got plenty of things to do. Like if you like riding motorbikes, it's got a really good like fucking beach road to drive down. It's got everything. It's just a really good place to fucking chill, and it's home to the pink dolphin.
Yes.
And apparently they're really rare in Thailand, the pink dolphins. And look, I've never fucking seen them. But you can go on a boat. You can pay 1,000 baht or 2,000 baht or whatever it costs, and go out on a boat with fucking 100 other fucking twats, and go and watch these fucking dolphins. And that's if they find them. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was in the water the other week down at Cannon, and I heard this fucking noise. I looked up. I couldn't fucking believe it. There was 2 pink dolphins about, I don't know, 10 meters away from me. If you've ever watched Flipper before, Flipper, that dolphin show. Well, that it used to make that noise.
Yes, yeah.
That squeaky noise, the squeaky. I can't even say it. But that's what I heard. I heard fucking Flipper, and I looked up, and there's these fucking two fucking pink dolphins,
Amazing.
just off the beach, and I fucking yelled out to the missus. I said, Ollie, and she's fucking looked up, and she gets lost in Kmart, Ollie, and anyway, I fucking pointed over there, and I said, dolphin, Paloma, Next thing you know, she's got the lady next door. She's out. And there's about fucking 10 people watching these dolphins. But yeah, amazing. Apparently, it's really rare to see them fucking off the beach there. And they were just playing around, and big fuckers, pink as, really pink they were. I
just noticed a comment Ray made before. He said there's an earthquake up in Queensland today, in Brizzy.
Yeah, right.
That's a bit rare, isn't it? Earthquakes up in Queensland.
Yeah, well, fucking, we had one down in Melbourne. Was it last year?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Movement.
That was a good one. Show me age, fucking Crowy. Yeah, well, I'm not getting any fucking younger, mate. I turned 59 last week. I was down at Pratchett Kirikhan, another go-to place. Beautiful spot, that one. And I don't usually celebrate my birthday. Not these days, when you get older, you think, fuck that, don't want to know about it. But, over here in Thailand, it's like, your birthday over here is like really celebrated, like they fucking love it, and they got the fucking sponge cake, and they fucking, they got that out. They spelt happy wrong. They only put one P in the happy, the Thais, what they're like with spelling. But it was a good night, 59 years old. And, that was another fucking 10 Leos, one of 10 Leos down.
Big difference between paying 70 baht for a beer and paying 200, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get you. No worries, Flipper. Yeah, definitely showing me age there. That was a long time ago. But, the beers have been, look, Hua Hin, you can be paying 120 baht there for a small Leo at some bars. But if you go to the market there, I forget the name of the market in Hua Hin. It's called Poor Barn. It's like father's house in Thai. Something like that. Poor Barn or something like that. Anyway, it's a big market there, and you can't get any. The only beer you can get there is Chang beer, because the whole market, the whole setup is sponsored by Chang. They've got the Chang girls there, and I think you'll see the video. I made a video of it. I reckon the Chang girls, I reckon they were better back in the day, the Chang girls.
The singer girls used to be the best.
Yeah, they were just better looking, I reckon, back in the day. They didn't have big asses like they've got now, like.
You'd never see an overweight Thai Sheila in the old days. Never.
Nah.
Never.
Nah, but just going on from that, the Chang beer there was 60 baht for a small bottle. That's pretty good. That's pretty decent. And they have music there. They have like a Thai band, but you can't really stay there too long because the music's just too fucking loud. I don't know, because maybe I am too fucking old, but the Thai music, Jono, it just gets fucking loud. It's loud, man.
Yeah. That's another good thing about Bob's Bar, isn't it, Pete? Yeah. He doesn't have music blaring all the time. It's a place to go for conversation. It's a proper bar. Where blokes can go and have a few beers and a bit of a chin wag.
100%. It's the best. I rocked up yesterday and it was really busy in there, and but you don't know any. Like I do know a few. Look, I obviously know the owner Bob, and I know a few blokes. I know their faces and that, but predominantly you go in there, you don't know anyone. But by the time you leave, you fucking know everyone. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just one of those bars where you just fucking talk to everyone. If if you don't like talking to people, don't go to Bob's Bar. You know.
No secrets in Canterbury, though, is there, Pete?
No. Don't let the cat out of the fucking bag or whatever you fucking call it, you know. But because the whole fucking street will know about it. But yeah, it's a ripper. It's a ripper. But no, I didn't see. Who asked me that? Did I see Johnny or Jim?
Henry.
Did I see Woody? No, I didn't see any of them. I didn't see him, Jim.
Jim Waters. G'day, Jim.
I didn't see Johnny, and I didn't see Woody, but I know Woody's. I don't know whether everyone in the chat knows about Woody, but he's got an Aussie bar in Hua Hin. It's called Woody's Bar, obviously. But it was in Bintabart, Soy Bintabart, but he sold it. It's up for sale. Anyways, moved down to where the old fucking train station is, the old train station in Hua Hin, and he's moved, so he's got his bar down there now, and he's going to call it Woody's World, apparently. Woody's World, and I never went down there. He had the opening night there the other week. I think Johnny would have gone there. I never got there, but I don't really hang out in Woody's Bar when it was in Bintabart. I kind of hang out in other bars, but no, didn't see him. Didn't see him there.
When I first went to Hua Hin, I think it was 1982. I first went to Hua Hin, and there wasn't a bar, a girly bar in the joint. Not one bar. The closest thing to a bar was the Esso coffee shop. There was an Esso service station on the main drag, and next to the Esso service station was a coffee shop, and there was about 4 or 5 girls in there on a Friday night, and that was it. You know, there was nothing like nothing like the bars that are there now. But I saw someone said a description of Hua Hin recently. They said it was a good place for retirees.
No, it definitely is. I like Hua Hin, and I suppose the good thing about Hua Hin, and you'll know this, Jono, is because he's got his holiday house down there. It's a favourite place for the royal family, and that's the reason why Hua Hin is good as it's a good joint, because it toes the line, because it's a favourite of the royal family.
Just before Hua Hin in Cha'am is what they call the Summer Palace, but I don't think the royal family's been there for some years, because it's all being renovated at the moment, and it's being renovated by I think it's the king's niece or a cousin. I think it's one of his nieces, and she's very well educated, of course, British education, but I think she's got a degree in architecture or something like that, and she's refurbishing the whole place, but back to sort of a original Thai style, because there's a lot of open areas there, open reception areas, traditional Thai, sort of accommodation. But that used to be a favourite of Rama IX. He'd go down there during the summer.
Certainly was. They've still got the military there, Johnny. Like, they've still got the guards out the front. So I don't know why they do that. Maybe just to protect the place. Maybe even if they're not there.
Well, there wasn't even a sign up there was nothing in Cha'am in those days. There were, the only reason you knew you were in Cha'am, you'd see this old, that was all rice fields virtually, and you'd be travelling down the main drag to go to Hua Hin down the highway, and the only way you'd know you're in Cha'am, you'd see these 2 soldiers at the front of the place, in the pillboxes they'd stand in, but I haven't been there in a long time. Actually thinking doing what you're doing, Peter's, hiring a house down, Cha'am or Hua Hin or Prachuap Kirikan and invite the family down, next time. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
But I'm quite content to go to Canterbury because that's where my wife's daughter lives with her husband and her kids. And obviously my wife goes out with her daughter all the time, and Jack, knocks around with his sister his half sister, and they spend their days and their evenings together. And little old Jono and Pete, we're down at Bob's Bar, aren't we, mate? We're more than happy,
Yeah, that's it. Rick, I heard there's plans to demolish the older fishing village. I did a vlog on that, Rick, just a couple of days ago. I'll put that up in a few weeks. But yeah, that's true. I don't know when it's going to take place, or if it's going to take place. The old, the old part of Hua Hin near the fucking Hilton Hotel, where they've got all the piers there, all those wooden piers.
Yes,
and
yes.
They've got seafood restaurants on them and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, they've actually served notices on all the people that live or have got businesses in these places that they're going to fucking demolish the whole lot. That actually they reckon it's been illegally built, on fucking Crown land or some shit, but. And they're threatening to demolish the whole place. Now, obviously, it is a big story down there about that, because that's part of the fucking character and the history of Hua Hin, is exactly where those pier restaurants and the local Thai businesses are. They're all on those fucking piers.
That's where the fishing boats used to come in there.
Yeah.
The fishing boats used.
Look, what are they going to do? They're going to demolish and take all that character away from the place and just make it into a beach. They've got a beach there. The beach goes fucking right down to Kautaki up. It's massive. So apparently it's been built. They've been built illegally on that land there on the beach, and there's been some threats made that they're going to fucking demolish the joint. So don't know, Rick. Don't know if it's going to happen. Or when it's going to happen, but there is definitely word going around that things are, things are going to happen there at some stage. I reckon it'll be real detrimental to the place myself. It's part of the character of the place. It was there a long time ago. It was probably there when Jono was first there. When did you go to Hua Hin, Jono?
1982 was the first time I went to Hua Hin.
Yeah, well, they would have been there then, these places.
An old bloke who I used to work with, when I worked on the waterfront, there was an old bloke there, and he'd been travelling to Hua Hin since 1949. Wow. 1949, he'd been travelling to Hua Hin, and he put me onto it. He said, if you want a nice, quiet, relaxing holiday, go down to Hua Hin. But in those days, it was dead as a doornail, during the week. And on the weekend, it would hot up a bit, and a lot of Thais would come down, for, down to the beach for the weekend. And, the well-to-do Thais, they'd come down to the beach on the weekend, and there was, they had to, the umbrellas and the deck chairs on the beach, of course. Steve Morris has just joined us. G'day, Steve.
G'day, Steve.
Here's our old mate, Stevie Morris.
Zongshan, China. Oh, fucking Steve gets around, doesn't he? Around Southeast Asia with his business. He's fucking in China and Cambodia and Bangkok. I've spoken to Steve a couple of times via email or messaging to see if we can catch up in Bangkok at some stage, because we seem to miss each other all the time.
Steve took us out for a wonderful night when we caught up with him in Bangers a couple of years back, wasn't it, Pete?
Yeah, indeed.
We went out for a lovely night. Thank you once again for that, Steve. It was a beautiful night. We had a great fun.
Yep. Yeah, that was.
And Trevor even rocked up.
Yes. Yep.
Trevor even got there eventually.
Yeah, he did. He missed it. He missed dinner, but he rocked up there later. You know. Well, we were there with My Two Bart was there as well.
Yes, My Two Bart was there.
Yeah, My Two Bart was there, and we went out for dinner. Steve shouted us dinner, so that was a fucking ripper.
My Two Bart, he just sort of he moved to Thailand then. He was, that was soon after he moved to Thailand. Was my
Yeah, I think it was.
Yes,
it was. It was the first. I think it was the first few months he was there, or 6 months, or something like that.
Yes.
But
back to, sorry for interrupting myself, but we're talking about Hua Hin. Like the Thais would come down on the weekend, and they'd go down to the beach in Hua Hin, and you'd sit on there, and you got your deck chair and your your little umbrella, and the little rickety wooden table, and and behind you was wouldn't have been half a dozen, maybe 4 or 5 people. They'd cook up fresh food for you, and you could sit on the beach all day long. As a couple, because I was engaged to my future Thai wife then, my first Thai wife, and you could sit on the beach all day there, and drink all day long, and the bill would, and drink yourself to oblivion, eating, shellfish and all sorts of, what the Thai shells are like, when they're eaten, and the bill had come to about 700 or 800 baht, all day on the beach eating beautiful food, and my mouth's watering just thinking of it, eating crayfish and
fucking out of your fucking ears, like
not prawns again.
Yeah, fucking prawns, fucking I start look like a prawn, after a while. You fucking eat that many, but it's still, it still happens down there. We still do it, we still get down the beach and order up a fucking, a shitload of fucking, seafood, and that comes out. You have to fucking move, you're on your fucking deck chair, and they bring the beers to you, and they fucking, if you want a massage, you don't have to fucking move. The only time you have to move is when you have to go to the toilet. That's the only time you got to move on the beach. Yeah, the rest of it all comes to you. And the Thais love it. They love it. The Thais, they love doing the big fucking seafood banquets on the beach. And they love all that, don't they? With the whole family, they're very family influenced. They love the family vibe, don't they? And I can watch them for fucking all day. The Thais, sitting down eating. I mean, they fucking love eating, don't they? Just pastimes that they fucking love so much. They just love it so much.
Mrs. said to me today, she got up. Jack had to go down to wanted to get something from Kmart, a whiteboard or something. He's got to have a whiteboard for school. So anyway, the missus said, she'll come along. She had a bit of a poke around Kmart, and we got out, and she said, I feel like chocolate cake. I tell you. So anyway, we've come out of Kmart and just parked, up to the end of the car park there, and went into the cheesecake shop. And she's looking in there, which one she's going to get, which one she's going to pick. Anyway, she wanted, she said, was that the one we had for your birthday last year? The Black Forest cake. And I said, yeah. She said, I'll have one of them, Well, anyway, I said to Sheila, and they said, I'll have a Black Forest cake, thanks, love. So anyway, got the Black Forest cake, and anyway, Sheila's given it to us. Well, anyway, she's carrying the Black Forest, and she's blew it all the way to the car. She said, I only wanted you to get half, not a whole one, Well, anyway, I went and checked in the fridge before. A quarter of it's gone already. You know, I haven't had any, but she's into it. You know,
Yeah.
but, you know, good luck to her. You know?
Yeah, down, wolfed it down. Yeah.
So what's on the agenda tonight, Pete?
Well, I'm coming good actually. I'm feeling pretty good now, and still got a bit of a headache, but that's all right. You know, you just live with that. You know, 2 Leos will get rid of that. But the plan is, well, there's no plan when you're over in Thailand, as you know. But today, over at Bojangles Bar, there's a bar in town called Bojangles, owned by I saw the owner, CJ. His name is.
Yeah.
He came to Bob's Bar last night, and his name's CJ. And they're having a bit of a dart tournament at 3:00 this afternoon. You know, a bit of a dart. You know, it's a dart get together, I suppose. You know, a bit of a social. He goes, "Come over, you know, fucking throw a few darts, have a beer." So that's at 3:00. Might wander over there, and then the mighty fucking Pies are playing, aren't they? They're playing. They're playing Adelaide.
Yeah,
they're playing Adelaide. So I'll probably go to Bob's Bar to watch the game. You know, that'll be on. What time is it now? It's
1:45 your time.
Yeah, so it's in. I don't know what time it is. The Collingwood game. It might be on about. Might be coming up very soon. So I'll check that out. But other than that, it'll just Bob's Bar, Bojangles, couple of beers here and there. Probably get a feed somewhere, and just play it by ear, Jono.
Yeah, the Bojangles.
Yeah.
They got an all-day breakfast on there. Yeah, my little bloke likes going there for brekkie at Bojangles.
Yeah, that's a good little bar there. You know, there's not much to it. There's not much to them, these bars. You know, they're just all they are is a bar, really, and they haven't got all the bells and whistles like you'll see in Hua Hin or you know in Pattaya. They're just average fucking looking bars, aren't they? But it's the ambience of them, though. You know, it's the characters that get in these bars up here in Cairn that really turn this town on. It's a real draw card, I think, especially for me and you. The people we meet up here are pretty genuine. You know, there's no bullshit.
A lot of expats, you know, and a lot of military expats too. You know, blokes that have been in the services. They retire there, and it's fully understandable why, because you've got all the benefits, the good aspects of Thailand, and it's got a nice, quiet little bar scene. It's not not down your throat like it is in Pattaya or in Bangkok or Chiang Mai even, or Hua Hin.
It's not for everyone. If you like your soy six, you like your Pattaya, by all means, fucking go for it. But this place up here is unique. There's not many places like it in Thailand. You've just got to experience it. It's like Jono said. There's plenty of shit to do up here as well. You know, they've probably got some of the best waterfalls in Thailand up here.
Erawan, yep.
Erawan. They've got all the war memorial, the war history, Hellfire Pass. They've got all the cemeteries. It's very interesting stuff. Got the bridge over the River Kwai there. They've got some. You're not far from the Burmese border. There's a place called Sukahorn, which is about 3 or 4 hours by car. It's right on the Burmese border. But that's a fucking ripper joint too up there. They've got the massive lake there. They've got this old bridge called the Mon Bridge, and it was built, fucking hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's got a lot of character. There's so much to do up here. If you want to go and there's orphanages up here as well. And you can go to the orphanages and probably take some food for the kids and stuff like that. That's a good thing to do. They've got elephant sanctuaries up here as well. Really good ones where you're not allowed to ride the elephants. You know, it's just all about the sanctuary and the well-being of the fucking things. You know, and yeah, it's a fucking good feel place. A good feel place. Indeed. And your money goes a little bit further up here as well. You know, if I was in Hua Hin, I don't think I would have brought that home last night. You know what I mean? That's you know, that's the other thing up here. It's quite cheaper than look. We're not really getting a good rate for the Australian dollar at the moment. I think we all know that it's fluctuates between 20 and 21 at the moment. Not great. Does have a bit of an effect on your spending. Thailand hasn't got any cheaper, and it fucking never will. It'll just go up before it goes down. But
you were saying yesterday, Pete, that you noticed the prices are a little higher than even from the last time you went there, which was only less than 6 months ago.
Yeah. I think in general, I know it's been said a lot in the social media about how Thailand is not the cheapest place to go to anymore, and I think people are right. I think they are right in that respect. I definitely think it's got a little bit more expensive over here. Obviously the Australian dollar, the rate doesn't help. But yeah, it is. You know, you're not going to. It's not Thailand 20 years ago, is it? You know, like it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, well, as far as pricing is concerned, we really can't blow it. You know, like certainly things aren't any cheaper in Australia. Like every time you go to the supermarket, things are increasing all the time. In Melbourne, especially.
Yeah. Compared to Australia, it's still cheap. It's still a cheap place to come. And I know. I mean, London just made a comment there. Vietnam, it is Vietnam and Cambodia and places like Laos and stuff are cheaper. Definitely are cheaper places to travel to than they are in Thailand. Thailand's a little bit more expensive in those places now. If you're looking after your dollar and you're on a budget, maybe those other places like Vietnam are the draw cards for that reason. But
I think Thailand has, for the last 50, 60 years, they've worked out tourism almost to a fine art, as far as hotels and accommodation and sightseeing tours and various forms of entertainment you can get in Thailand. Really a lot of the Thai economy is structured around tourism. Like, can you imagine Circumvent Road? Not that I'm a great frequenter of Circumvent Road in Bangkok nowadays, anyway. You imagine if it didn't have the girly bars there, or any of the bars up and down Circumvent Road itself, or it'd be a totally different place. That's why I like staying at staying down in Ceylon. It's well and truly away from that, but especially if my little bloke, not that he's little anymore, but I don't want to walking down the street and sort of having every 50 metres having lady boys thrown in his face. And although it might be a little bit different when he goes back next time, he'll be over 18, and while I'm trying to sort of wind down from my golden years, for the, twilight years, like, I suppose I'm going to have to, take him out and blood him to the exercise of of what happens in the bars, but I asked him recently, would you like to, marry a Thai woman when you get older, Jack? He said, yeah, if I could find one like Mum. I said, yeah, good luck with that, son. You won't find one like your mother. Some Thai girls don't even cook nowadays. Got no idea of cooking. Like, God, can you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine. That's, fucking, I just don't understand why. Like, why would you marry a fucking Thai woman that doesn't fucking cook? Like, I mean, it is what it is. You don't marry her for her cooking, do you? But you marry her because you're fucking, for a lot of shit, a lot of other things. But some Thais can't cook. It's kind of weird. But anyway, who's on the Craig? G'day, Craig. Craig's on the chat. G'day, mates. Rick, how did I go with the digital entry system? Fucking piece of cake. Piece of cake. This new digital. Well, it used to be that card that used to fill in. When you used to land in Thailand. What was it called? The
TM6.
The TM6 card. It's exactly like that, Rick. But you've got to do it online now within 72 hours of flying out of fucking Australia. It was really easy. You don't have to upload anything. You don't have to fucking upload photos or anything like that, or your passport. It's just more or less tick the boxes and fill in your name and your details. It was really, really, really easy. Didn't find it a problem. Look, I think it streamlines the entry process into Suvarnabhumi, the airport. When I came in this time, because I come in with my Thai wife, I go through the Thai immigration exit because I'm with her. Obviously, it's a lot quicker to go through that because there's not as many many Thais checking in. So, but I think that new digital system, I think it does streamline your a quick entry.
Did the missus have to fill in the new digital entry?
No. She's on a Thai passport, so she'll leave Australia on the Australian passport, and she'll enter Thailand on the Thai passport. The Thais don't have to fill it in. It's only the Phalang. So, but I think it is. I think look. It wasn't a problem for me. And I think it does streamline your entry a lot quicker. Like we've spoken about it before. I've been jacked up before at immigration. I don't know about anyone else on the chat. I'm sure people have had their problems. Jono's spoken about it. You don't. The female immigration officers don't go through them. They're the ones that kind of jack you up. If anyone's going to jack you, it's usually the females. Am I correct there, Jono?
Yeah. Indeed, although there's in years gone by, the immigration officers used to be quite senior people. They'd have that as a senior job, and if you got in front of an old Sheila, and she wanted to push you through the ringer, they would, Whereas you got an older bloke, an old bloke in his 50s, and he was a career professional public servant, there with his uniform on, and all he does is stamp all day, couldn't give a fuck. They never challenged you. They never asked you any questions, where you're living or what are you going to do. But if you get a young woman nowadays, and I'd say 9 out of 10 of them, they've got a master's degree, they'd have a university degree, sitting there at immigration, they're going to push you through the ringer. I think it was the last time I was there, and we went through Thai immigration. My wife was sort of, about 10 of 10 feet, 3 or 4 metres in front of us. And Jack and I were just sort of, waltzing behind her. And this Thai Sheila, this young little piece, come waving her hands in the air. This is for Thais. This is for Thais. Phulang's down there. Phulang's down there, And I said, that's my Thai wife and that's his mum. Oh, she changed her colours in a flash and, sure, terribly sorry, sir, come through this way. And, she opened up a separate booth and pushed me and Jack through. And, we were out of a joint before the missus was.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What
That's a bit of a bonus, though, isn't it? A bit of a bonus going there, and you don't have to, queue up for, 20, 30 people in front of you at immigration, going through like you'd be lucky if there's half a dozen people, Thais, going through immigration when you're going through. So you're straight out of the joint,
Yeah, and now a lot of the Thais just go through those booths, those booths like you come into Melbourne, those.
Yes.
Just those automatic fucking, you put your passport up, it photos you and you just fucking walk straight through, and that happens for the Thais. So I think they might start doing it for the Phulang at some stage, but that's a really fucking easy system. And the last thing you want to do is get jacked up by the fucking immigration at Bangkok airport after a long haul fucking 9-hour Melbourne, So
what about the poor Poms? They got I think it's 18 hours, 20 hours from London to Thailand.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of them have a stopover, don't they? Have a stopover in Dubai or somewhere like that, which is I think that's a pain in the ass myself, because I used to do that. Used to do like Melbourne to Phuket, but it'd always be Melbourne, Singapore, Phuket or something like that, with Shitstar. And even though you'd only be an hour or 2 hours at Singapore airport, it's just getting off and getting back on. It's just a pain in the ass. It's just a pain in the ass.
I saw an article the other day. There's going to be another carrier which is going to be having direct flights from Melbourne and Sydney, I think it was. Qatar Airlines are going to have direct flights.
Right.
So at the moment, there's Qantas, Jetstar, and Thai. So imagine if Qatar Airlines got in on the exercise, that might smarten them up a bit. But I think you might not be able to get a drink on board on Qatar.
Yeah, I've heard they're a pretty good airline.
Yes.
I've heard that they've been rated pretty highly. Yeah, Qatar.
Yeah, I saw the article came out, and I did a bit of a search on it, but they only just announced it. So I'm a little bit down the track. We'll see what they're offering, but I think the last time it was it's about $1,000 flying Shitstar. Thai was sort of pretty much wasn't too far in front of it, 1,100, but it wasn't even $1,200 flying Thai. But Qantas is a totally different story. It's $1,500, $1,600 flying with Qantas. Why? Why?
Yeah, we'll get Matt just said that they do serve drinks on Qatar on the airline there. So I think they've got a pretty good name. As far as fucking Shitstar go, I don't fly Shitstar anymore. I always fly Thai. I just fly Thai these days. It's a little bit more expensive, but I'm just used to it. I think you just get a little bit more leg room. I think you get looked after a little bit more. Obviously, you get fed, you get watered. You don't get those. Remember those towels I used to give you when you used to get on board? Remember back in the day?
Yes.
So wipe the back of your neck and shit. They don't do it anymore because of COVID, but that kind of thing. You don't get looked after as well as you used to. But it's still, look, I always think that, and you might disagree with this, Jono, but with my Thai wife on board, I seem to get looked after better. The Thais look after the Thais. You know, they can walk up, they don't have to speak English. They can speak to her in their language. It's just a lot easier for them. The thing with the food and all that shit now, like with, you know, especially with the Muslims, they all get fed first because they don't eat, you know, what we eat, you know, it's got to be fucking blessed and all that shit. I don't know, but they all got to get fed first, which is a bit of a fuck around, you know. They all get fed first. It might be like an hour after the Muslims get fed, and then you get fed after. You know, the rest of the fucking, you know, the rest of the people on the plane get fed after that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not fucking racist. I'm just saying what it is.
With people with special menus, not necessarily, you know, people, not necessarily just Muslim people, but people who have a special menu. You know, they get fed first. You know. Yeah.
So I think that just having the Thai missus, I think you just get looked after a little bit better. You know.
In the old days, if you were travelling with your Thai wife and she was a good sort, you'd often get a bit of stick from the Thai hosties. You know, like I've been on a couple of Thai flights in Thai International in the old days, and they.
Give me 2 secs. Someone's at the door.
No, it's because they're sort of jealous. You know, it's sort of, you know, jealous that, you know, like, yeah, you're with a Thai woman and you're travelling backwards and forth, and, you know, room service. Room service.
How? Patrick Dua? Patrick Dua?
มาจากตัวเอามาเปลี่ยนคืนเดียวเหรอเดี๋ยวเอาน้ำให้นะคะ
Yeah, so it was the people trying to want to clean the room.
Room service.
I said, don't worry about it. I said, just give me a couple of waters and a new towel, and you can clean the room tomorrow.
Is that the elderly lady or the young girl?
She's an older one. She's an older lady.
Look,
very, very quiet. Let's go for a bit of a sticky nose out here, shall we?
If we can. See what we can catch. There we are.
There she is. Thank you.
โอเคเดี๋ยว
Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty quiet here. Pretty quiet. So goes all right. I think you stayed up there, Jono, last time.
Yeah, that's before. That's where we got the free nights in that room, because we couldn't get the 2-bedroom suite on the river.
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
Not too many people there, Pete. It's quiet. Woody Carp.
Okay.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay.
Lovely lady.
Oh, you can't beat them, can you? You know, they're fucking quality, aren't they? You know.
You still got all the army boys running around there, Pete?
I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen any of the gardeners yet. The Special Forces gardeners. Because me and Jono have got this idea that this place I'm staying at is got some connection to the royal family. Jono, can you kind of clarify a little bit more on that?
The King's cousin. She is the owner of that place, right. And her husband is a general in the Thai army, and that's why there's a lot of army personnel around there. But her husband is a general, and that is the reason, when I went there last time, Pete's aware that we booked the 2-bedroom suite down on the river. I think we booked it for 2 weeks, and I think I booked it 6 months out, and 2 or 3 days before we were to travel, we got an email saying, "Oh, we're terribly sorry, but for the first 3 days that you're there, you won't be able to have the suite on the river. But we'll give you free accommodation for 3 nights, for the inconvenience." I thought, "Oh yeah, well, no worries." And as Pete said, there's a 2-bedroom suite upstairs, which they put us in, for nix. It was about $2,500 a night, 3,000 baht a night, I think. And and they gave it to us for nothing. And I actually inquired. I said, "Well, how come when we've booked it, we can't have it for 3 days?" And the bloke who runs the place there, he's a sergeant in the Thai Army. He said it's because it's the owner's husband's 57th birthday. I said, "Oh yeah, right. No worries. Fully understand that." So I sort of made it my business, to find out who the husband was, and he was a general in the Thai Army, and and I thought, "Oh gee, you're not going to kick up a stink about that, are you?" Saying, "Oh, well, I demand the room because I booked it." And so anyway, I thought to myself, "Well, it might be politic, seeing that it's his birthday, we'll buy him a present." So I mentioned it to the boy at reception, and I said, "Oh, does the owner's husband like whiskey?" He said, "Oh yeah, he loves it." "Right, take us down to the bottle shop." So I went and bought him a bottle of Gold Johnny, Walker for his birthday. We're saving me about 8,000-9,000 baht, for a free accommodation. For a couple of thousand baht, buy him a nice bottle of whiskey. It's just being polite. So I got back to that. Went down and bought the whiskey mid-afternoon. When all the shops are meant to be closed and you can't sell it. But anyway, we got into the local bottle shop down there in Canterbury, and came back and bought the boy and his mates take me down and bought him a large bottle of Sangsom, a litre bottle. He was wrapped, and I left a bottle of whiskey with him. I said, "Oh, you give this to the owner, tomorrow when you see him." And he said, No, you give it to him. He'll be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, "Yeah, all right, okay, no worries." So I got the missus to go and buy a birthday card, and got the whiskey, wrapped up real nice, and went down and saw him in the morning. Oh well, that was very politic. He was wrapped, with receiving the bottle of whiskey and the birthday card. He's invited us to the party of a night time, and the monk's blessing, on the Saturday morning, and on Saturday night we're having a big party, and you and the family are all invited. Come along. And I thought, maybe keep your head out. But I went to the birthday blessings with all the monks, the following morning, and mock it up in the street, and went down there. It's about 200 people.
Was that at the front there, near the river there?
Yeah, right out the back, on the river. There's a little, pavilion there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in there.
Yeah.
That worked out a good move, but you really get looked after well at that place. It's quiet, and there's no noise, and very nice little hotel indeed. You're going to go back to the good times, Pete? You'll go around there for a feed, will you, or maybe not?
I'll wander down there. I'll go and see the Sheila that runs the place. Trying to remember her name now. She's a good scout. So I think Kel asked me before in the chat whether I was staying there. No, I'm not staying at Good Times this time, Kel. Mainly because I do like Good Times. It's a good resort. Very well liked. Like a lot of people go there. Probably too many people, and they've got it's really family orientated there now, and they have a lot of families going there. They've got 2 big pools, and they've got a lot of kids and stuff. And I just kind of, it just gets a little bit too busy for me. I'd like the quiet kind of, sitting around the pool or whatever, screaming kids fucking jumping around, and that kind of happens at Good Times a bit. But they've got a really good restaurant there. The restaurant there is really good, really well rated. Even the breakfast, people go for breakfast there. They don't even stay there. They kind of go for breakfast at Good Times because of the standard. So yeah, I'll head down there.
That restaurant you're talking about, Pete, that's rated as the 3rd best restaurant in Kanchanaburi.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know it's up there. I know it's highly regarded. It's in a beautiful setting right on the river. Really nice. Good service and good food. Just on the comment there, London's Bangkok, Pattaya, Krabi, Koh Samui, back to Pattaya and Bangkok, possible in 3 weeks, or is it too much? Well, yeah,
Bangkok, Pattaya, Krabi, Koh Samui, back to Pattaya and Bangkok. Oh, you'll be on the move. You'll be on the move. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stops in 21 days.
Yeah. And, like Krabi's on the other side of Koh Samui. There's a bit of travel there. But, you can do it, London. 3 weeks is still enough time to do that. And you probably want to get a couple of flights in there. You probably wouldn't want to go by bus or anything like that. That's going to take a bit of time. But, no, you can do it. Yeah. 3 weeks, 21 days. No,
never seen Valerie the sausage before, but now I'm in the gully, mate. I live in Ferntree Gully.
Valerie the sausage, yeah, I like the name. Yeah, the buffet breakfast, Kel. It's a ripper. It's a ripper.
Nice breakfast indeed. Yes. Yeah, as you said, Pete, you can just go there for brekkie. I think it's a couple $100, which is, bugger all.
Yeah, even lunch or even dinner is good down there too.
Oh, it's not food.
Charlie, I think the lady that runs the place, I think her name's Charlie. From memory, she's a good scout. She doesn't mind a drink either. She'll come up and have a drink with you, and she's good. I'm just going to give this place I was in when I was in Hua Hin. I went to this bar. It's called the Halfway Inn.
Oh yes,
that's a stubby holder. I went there a few times. Really good bar, just off Soy 94. Bloke by the name of Dave, English guy. Ripper bar, ripper. Does a really good roast dinner on a Wednesday. And good service, good bar, good pool tables, not in your face kind of place. Ripper joint, straight right opposite the pub. If you know where the pub is, it's just opposite there. Good. He was in Phuket for 12 years or something. He had a bar in Phuket just off Bangla Road, and he was telling me, I said, why'd you move for? He goes, I had to get out. I had to get out. It was just getting too expensive, and there was just fucking too many Russians there. Look, again, that word comes up, and that's essentially why he moved away from the place and relocated up in Hua Hin. He's been here now like 13 months. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. Was in Phuket, like I said, for a fair while, but had to get out.
Well, Phuket's a lot more expensive than where you are, mate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Phuket's one of the most expensive places I reckon that I know of in Thailand. Bangla Road, fucking hell. You know, don't go down there without 5,000 baht in your fucking wallet. You know, there's fucking ATMs all the way, all up and down that soy. You know, for obvious reasons. Yeah, not a cheap place. Far from it. Unlike this place here. You know.
G'day, Matt. Asking, you're going to load up on a bit of pad grapau before you go out tonight, mate?
Yeah, well, that's probably the smart thing to do, isn't it? You know, get a feed. Yeah, definitely. Get a feed inside me, and then go from there.
Get that over at Bojangles, mate.
Yeah, I'll head over there. They've got the darts comp on there at about 3:30, I think he said. So I'll head over there for a couple of beers and might get a feed in there. Might get a pack of pow in there with an egg on top. You know, that's.
That's what I was going to ask you. How did you notice the walk from Bob's Bar back to where you were last night?
Yeah, no worries. You know, I staggered home last night, as you would imagine. I staggered home last night, but it was good because it wasn't that far. You know.
Wouldn't be 200 metres, would it?
Yeah, no. Like you can more or less see Bob's Bar from out the front there. You know, so no, it's in a good location. It's a good location. And like I don't know what time I got home last night, but it was still kicking on when I left. Like, you know, it must have been 12 o'clock. It was still kicking on down the street. You know, there's a lot more bars opened up here now. Like there's more girly bars here now than there was 6 months ago. I'm not talking like, you know, 10 or 20. I'm talking about, you know, at least an extra 2 girly bars. I mean, that's a lot in this strip in here in Cannes. It just seems to be getting a little bit busier now up here.
Did you catch up with the owner from the Butterfly Bar?
No, I didn't. I didn't go in there. We went past. I went. Fuck, he's got some girls working out of there. I reckon I walked past there last night and I saw a girl and I reckon she looked like she was about 15 years old. Seriously. Oops. You know, fuck me. They're like, you've got to be 21, don't you?
20.
20.
20,
now,
yeah, 20, I think. 20.
There's no fucking way that she was fucking 20 years old.
Well, I think you were saying earlier on before we came on that they had a bit of a tap on his door about that recently.
See you, Steve. Take it easy, mate.
Good on you, Steve. Thanks for joining us, mate. Heading out amongst the savages, remain safe. You take care, Steve.
Yeah, good on you, Steve. Yeah, so there is
Can sort of, you know, really doesn't rock on at 2 o'clock in the morning, does it, Pete?
No.
Although there are some bars. Remember that place we went down there? We was at Nuts Bar. You know, with that blind, we couldn't walk, so you know we decided to ride the motorcycle home. You know?
Yeah, that was a bad move. But she does a lock-in down there. Oh, no, you know, she does a lock-in down there. Like, I think Rick, I think it's 12:30 here. I think it's 12:30, and I think there's a few lock-ins. Like if they, you know, pull the shutters down, they're still open for like an extra hour or so. And they do that at Nuts Bar. old Nutty down there. She's an old scout. She runs a bar down there opposite 7-Eleven. Not a bad little joint there. She's got a few girls working out of the place. She obviously is fucking making enough money to pay the rent. There's a few good bars around, definitely. But no, it's a pretty. Nothing will be open at 2 a.m. Nothing.
We've got a gentleman that's just joined us. He's called Sard, and he's come in from the other side of the fence, which I knock around with a bit of a time, from the Archie Luxury show. Thank you very much for joining us, Sard. It's very nice of you, but we call him General Sard. But this gentleman, he has a massive comprehensive knowledge of watches. He's a very knowledgeable man, and it's most enjoyable just listening. He sometimes pops on the evening show with Archie, and he talks about watches, but it's very nice. You should pop over. Thank you so much, General. It's very nice of you to pop in. You're more than welcome, mate.
Yeah, welcome to the live show, mate.
And thank you for the kind wishes to myself and my family. That's very much appreciated indeed.
Then JNR's, thank goodness you fellas are back. Love the live streams. Cheers, mate. We really appreciate it.
That's very nice to hear. I can't recall them. I think did they at 6 o'clock in Kanchanaburi? Do they play the national anthem?
Good question, Jono. Good question. I don't think they do.
No.
No, definitely not. I was sitting in the hotel room the other day down in Hua Hin, and the 6 o'clock, my wife's family were watching the TV, and at 6 o'clock, as you know, it comes up on the TV, and fucking everyone's up. We're all fucking standing up in the fucking lounge room,
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking standing up, It's grouse, but I don't see it. Doesn't happen in Cairn. I don't see. I don't see anyone. I don't hear the national anthem anywhere at 6 o'clock along the strip here.
They might, I think, get closer to the centre of town, but maybe not on River Kwai Road there. Because like that's Bari, the bar area. They might not do it there, but I think closer to the centre of town. They. I've got an idea that they play the national anthem.
Yeah, I've got probably no doubt that they would. So yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like the old national anthem. Is it only once a day? Is it 6? It's only 6 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes, night time. Yes.
Yeah. I remember when up in Phuket, up in the old town there, the old Phuket town, or at the market there, and we're all walking around. It was fucking packed, it was fucking Russians everywhere, and the fucking music come on, like the national anthem come on at 6 o'clock at the market, and fucking next thing everyone's fucking stopped, and as you stand up, and everyone's fucking like this and quiet, and I did the same thing, I respect it, I respect the national anthem, and you're in their country. And you do the right thing, but the Russians, no, they were just fucking. They didn't stop. They didn't stop talking. They didn't stop walking. They were just fucking oblivious to it. Absolutely oblivious to it. It pisses me off. I tell you, I'm sorry, but it does piss me off.
It's no respect. I think we discussed this privately. When you were there last time, and we just came out to the conclusion that they're just not showing respect in another person's country, but I don't know many countries in the world at 6 o'clock at night they play the national anthem like they do in Thailand. You go up country, it's regular, up where my wife's from in Kampan Pet, sure as life at 6 o'clock at night. even out in the little black, back blocks, in little small villages. The national anthem comes on, at 6 o'clock of a night time.
Yeah, different world up there. But you're right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's other countries in the world that do. I've never been to them, so it's a little bit of pay a little respect to. The other thing at the moment, they've got the war on with the Khmer, the Cambodians. That's still going apparently.
Is there a ceasefire or it's still going?
Well, I don't really watch the news or anything like that, and I don't pay too much attention to it. But it just, they have a ceasefire, and then all of a sudden, fucking bombs go off, and so I think the Khmer they've lost about 3,000 soldiers. Yeah, so that's what I heard. I don't know if that's right, but that's the Thai side's 30 maybe, I think.
I heard that the king is anyone who has, suffered loss or any soldiers especially that have, been killed in battle. The king is going to support, their families, which is a very good gesture. Very good gesture.
Yeah, it's a big thing over here, as you would imagine, but it's also something that the Thais don't tend to talk publicly about. You don't walk into the bar or into a restaurant or something and start fucking talking about the war between Cambodia and Thailand to the locals, because they just don't like talking about stuff like that. That's just the Thai way. They'll talk about that at home and amongst themselves and that kind of thing. So it's not a topic that you'd bring up, as you well know, Jono. You just don't talk about it. It's not one of those things that they like talking about in front of Falang, I suppose, or people they don't know. So, but yeah, it's still going apparently. Don't really know when it's going to fucking stop, or it's just. I mean, the fuck, what are they doing? It's just a fighting over a little bit of land or whatever, or something.
It's been brewing for, I think it's the last 30, 40 years over who has rights over it's called the Pravihar, I think, temple. And it's a temple right on the border, and it's disputed who has authority over the temple, whether it's the Cambodians or the Cambodians, suppose, Kampuchea or the Thais. And there's been, disputes and, border clashes over for years. But there was, I think it was a directive from the International Court of Justice that they said that the Cambodians, had the right over the temple. And I don't think the Thais like that terribly much, so they have a bit of a dispute over it. But it's anyway. You can speak about nicer things, can't we? Than than wars in Thailand.
Yeah, well, I suppose. Look, it is what it is, isn't it? Like it's going on. It's. I suppose, we're talking about Thailand, so it is worth a mention. I just hope that everything, hope that peace comes to both countries very soon. I know a mate of mine personally. A mate of mine, his son is a sergeant in the Royal Thai Army. He's on the border there, fighting against the Khmer. So, I send all my blessings to him and to everyone involved. Really, I suppose it's.
I remember him as a little boy, Pete. The chap you were talking about, we won't drop his name, but he used to come into my shop when I had my Thai handicraft shop. He used to come in with his wife, and he'd bring his, he'd bring a little boy, in with him. He was about 9 at the time, but that was 20 years ago. So I think he's 28 or 29 now, but he's a sergeant, in the Thai army. But he's obviously he speaks fluent English and Thai, but he's got he's got a very good niche, in life. He's got a very good profession being in the army, and especially English.
He chose to stay in the army. Like obviously
Yes.
you get drafted into the army when you're 21 or whatever, and he got drafted because he obviously was top. He was living in Australia at the time, and he was on a permanent visa in Australia. He could have stayed in Australia. Didn't really have to go back to Thailand to sign up, but he did. He went back, and this is a while ago now. And you only sign up for a couple of years, I think, and most people do. But he stayed. He stayed in the army. He's been in the Royal Army now for it must be 6 or 7 years now. He lives on the base. They've got housing for the families on the base. His wife lives there with his baby. I think his granddad lives there as well. So they put them all up on the base, and they get looked up. So no, he's down there now fighting the Khmer. So all the best to him. All the best to him.
Yes, indeed. Nobody wants to see him on Earth.
Yeah.
Rick Nelson just asked. He heard there's a ban on flying drones. I think I may have seen the same video as you, Rick. There was a fellow YouTuber. Have you met Pete? The chap in Pedro up Kiriko. What's his name? Foreigner Joe. He said that the coppers knocked on his doors the other day. His wife was out the front in the garden or something, and the coppers knocked on the door. They wanted to have a talk to him. They just, reinforcing to him while, these disputes are happening that, there's no flying of drones in Thailand. But you've got to have a license anyway to fly a drone. But they were just checking up, saying, well, because of the current circumstance, there's no flying of drones in Thailand. But if you are a vlogger in Thailand, it wouldn't be wise to launch your drone up at this time of events, gentlemen.
No, I don't. Well, whoever watches my channel doesn't. Obviously, I don't use drones. I did use a drone back in the day. I think I bought it on a Wednesday, and I fucking lost it on the Friday. I had it for about 2 days. It was fucking flying up there we were down Lakes Entranceway, and I was down there with the family, and I was doing a test flight with this fucking drone, and I just never came back. You know what I mean? You had it on the remote control, and and then you can't see it, and obviously I didn't know what I was doing probably, and I never saw that drone again. That's halfway between fucking Lakes Entrance and fucking Tasmania now. All too hard doing that stuff. I'll stick to just the basic, vlogging. Not into the fucking drone stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's just all too hard for me. So.
Oh, you've been putting out some excellent stuff, Pete. The videos you're putting out now, they're great. Informative videos, enjoyable, showing places in Thailand people can't even imagine. You're putting out some really great stuff, mate. Keep up the good work, Pete. Keep it up.
Cheers, John.
I suppose we should think about closing it down, mate. They must be sick and tired of listening to, us, drone on, mate. And you've got to get over to Bojangles.
There's Leo to be drank. Off the Bojangles, but I'll do.
I went out the fridge to pull out a Leo. There's none there.
Oh, see, I'm not there. You know.
No,
You would have had-
there. I'll tell you what, it'll be down to Aldi's on first thing Monday morning, mate.
Yeah, get down to Aldi. Make sure you got beers in the fridge when I get home. Shit.
Oh yeah, but it's still the top shelf in there. There's still about a dozen in there. You know, I just had one of your great Northerns there, Pete. Where are we?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good drop, the Great Northern.
Indeed it is. Indeed.
Yeah. Great drop.
I tell you what, I'll have another smoke and we'll call it a day. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries.
I'm getting a bit of the munchies. I'm going to fancy some fish and chips for dinner, mate. You know?
Yeah.
I'll take the little bloke down the street and get some fish and chips, and I might have a couple of beers with that, and I'm going to sit down on Saturday night and watch me show. I'm up to the 10th series on it tonight, you know, series 10 of Spooks. I'm loving it.
Just going to the Brasco.
No worries, mate. Yeah, I was saying to Pete yesterday, I've been watching this British series. It's a MI5 series. It was on the ABC about 10, 15 years ago. It's called Spooks. You know, I find it most intriguing, you know, very amusing indeed, you know, good entertainment, maybe a little bit of truth in it all as well. So I'll sit down and look forward to that tonight. You know, a little bloke, he'll go back into his room. You know, it's Saturday night. He gets into his bedroom and speak to his mates all around the world, and his schoolmates, and on the computer all the time with them. Shouldn't complain. He's not hooning on the streets. He's just in his room enjoying himself with his friends. So you can't complain about that on a Saturday night. He did want to go out tonight. He wanted to go to some concert at school. And I said, oh, no. I don't like the idea of jumping on the train, by yourself on a Saturday night, mate. He didn't, he didn't flinch. No.
Have these, I'll just show you the room.
Yes.
It's quite, well, there's the workbench over there. And it's kind of on a, like on a wooden, it's just a mattress kind of thing. And then they've got this little garden area outside. It's like I don't know how you explain it, but obviously there's a wall. It's all private, and this is like every room's got one. Like this is the Brasco, and like there's a door here. You can go out. You can go out here to the fucking garden. I don't know what you want to do in there, but that's it. I think it's just it looks pretty cool, and it's got a really, what would you call it? Like really fucking unique kind of unique fucking feel to the place,
Rustic.
But this is about rustic. That's the one. How much is it? I'm never good with prices, but I think it's about $100 a night.
1,200, 1,500 baht a night.
Actually, no.
I'll check for you.
Yeah, it might be less. Actually, it might be about $70 or something like that a night. But it's and that includes breakfast, which I didn't have this morning because I never got up. So I missed breakfast, but that's okay. When I ordered it yesterday, she goes, "What time do you want breakfast?" And I thought, what time? What's the latest time you can get breakfast? 10 o'clock. And I said, yeah, 10 o'clock. And I still didn't get up, so that's okay. We'll
Here's the website.
Breakfast
I'll
tomorrow.
think how much it is. No, it's all in Thai. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's on now.
Sorry?
It's on booking.com. It's on booking.com now, isn't it?
Yes.
Deploy. Yeah.
here we go. Rooms. You're in what they call the garden. You're in the garden room, aren't you?
Yep.
1,400 baht a night.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
$70.
$70 a night, and that includes breakfast. So it's right in town, walking distance to Bob's Bar, and everywhere really. So 7-Eleven just down the road. It's right on the river. It's a good joint. I did a vlog on it. I don't know, about 2 years ago. But no, it's a good joint. There's some good hotels here, some really good hotels. You know, all up and down the River Kwai. You know.
Yeah, I'm going back to the 2-bedroom suite, but you know, it's a little bit expensive. How much is it a night? It's 3,800 baht a night, but you know, that'll do me. You know, that'll do me and the family, mate.
Yeah, it's nice and private there too, isn't it? Like it's downstairs there, and you look directly straight out onto the river, don't you?
Oh yes, yeah.
You know, you got that part. You got that island across the way there. That's a ripper.
It's like actually your own private little island.
Yeah, that's a ripper. Yeah, it's quite unique, isn't it? The way they've done that, like the way they've got that island over there. It's a good spot. Good spot. Highly recommended.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Well, my mate, I suppose we better call it a day. You know, and thank everyone for joining us. If you're up to it, we might catch up again before you leave, Pete. Might do another, maybe next weekend or whenever. You know,
next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday.
I've certainly enjoyed it. You know, we've had a great time, and we'll do a quick call out if the people have joined us. You know, today. Who we got? We'll go back. We've got Ghetto Matt, Ricky Nielsen, Soul Good, Brucey Grant, Henry Black, Melos 63, Stu D. I don't know if Stu will be with us. You know, he might be working, I think. Ray Gold, G'day Matt, I mentioned. Crowy, Tony the Tiger, Owen. Thanks for joining us, Owen. Who else have we got here? Melos 63, Crowy, Henry Black, Jim Corliss. Good to see Jim again. Who else have we got? Stevie Morris. It's good to see Steve jump on.
Yeah.
Clive Bolton. Thanks for joining us, Clive. Landon S2K. Haven't seen that gentleman before, but it was certainly contributing in the chat. So much appreciated, mate. Henry Black. Who else have we got? Craig Rosen joined us. Thanks, Craig.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah.
Still going through them. I think we.
One use it.
Yeah, once you see it. Yes, thank you for joining us.
Sorry,
non-fatal Fonzo. Here's another new one. Kel, good on you, Kel.
Hey, Kel. Mate, just answers. Kel's going to Ubon in November.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
We've got Memovox.
Should be right.
Memovox. Valerie the Sausage. There's a good one. Mr. Bear. And Sar, General Sar joined us. J&R.
Yeah.
Brad Allen. Taxi.
Yeah.
And Mark Thurl.
Yeah,
thank you for joining us. And Soul Good, of course. Soul Good.
Yeah, mate.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll leave you to it. Just stay there, Pete. We'll have a quick chat.
No worries.
Before we go. But we'll call it a day. And God bless you all, gentlemen. And we'll see you soon. Take it easy.
See you